All right. So let's say you have some sermon notes, but your pastor wants to make sure that there's the slide points showing, but he does want to have some different things showing up on the stage display for him to read that has the details of what he wants to say, like a note for himself, but it's not for the audience to see on the bullet points on the slide, for example. Today, we're going to talk about how to add notes to your slides that have their own bullets or their own images or whatever the graphics may be. And so I've got a slideshow here. And if I want to add notes to it, I would go to edit. And then on the right side here, so we've got all the main areas here, the text box, the item, and the items. But if I hit this little arrow, you'll see an option that says slide. And on slide, you got options to adjust background color. You can select a slide template for that particular slide, but you also have these notes. And so for this is where we might say, welcome. Today we will discuss how to switch to Freeshow. All right. So these are my notes. You'll see them down here at the bottom. But if I go back to my show, you don't see the notes anywhere except right below. So you'll see the notes right there. Now, this is helpful if you have a stage display. So right now, if I go to my outputs, I don't have any stage display on. I just have a main primary output on. And that main output, let's look and see where it's going. So it's default. It's going to, let's go to outputs. That's my default. It's going to a particular screen. So it's going to my screen above me. All right. What I want to do is I want to show you guys my stage display as well. So I'm going to turn on a stage display. All right. And let's see here. If I turn that on, you'll see one there. And I want to go to, I've got a bunch of different defaults here. I'm trying to see which one I want to use. We'll use this one, the stage training layout. And we're going to just adjust it to where it shows the current slide text with the current slide notes. All right. So we've got that done. If I go back to my show, we'll still see our notes there for that particular slide. None of the other slides have anything on them. And my stage display shows the current slide text and the next slide text along with the system clock. Just a very basic stage display. We're going to edit that stage display. We're going to go up here and we're going to go to our new, let's see, it was called stage. Here we go. So stage training layout. And what I want us to look at is we've got these laid out here pretty simple. I'm going to drag these all up and I'm going to put some notes up under everything. All right. I'm going to make this system clock shrink down to be so big. And we'll drag it right back to the middle. But I'm going to go to my items and I'm going to go to current slide notes. I'm just going to click on that one time and we get this current slide notes. And I'm going to drag that in and we'll make that go across the whole width. And you can set up your stage displays to be whatever you want in terms of complete customization is there. All right. So I got that one there. Now we need to get to some notes. So if I go back to my show and click on my Planning for Free show, when I click here, check out what the stage display has. It has those notes there for the speaker down at the bottom. And so they don't really stand out. So what we can do is we can go back to that stage. And we might say we want to make this text in this text box, we want to make it yellow so they can see that as a separate thing. I've got the current text green, and then I've got the slide notes yellow, and then the next slide will be in white. And so we click there, and this is what they'll see there. All right, so they'll see the current slide, they'll see the next slide, and then the welcome. All right. And so this is important when it comes to making notes for a speaker who's made some speaking notes. Okay, so they've got their slides, but they've also made some speaking notes. So let's recap real quick. We went to edit on our slide, and I've got slide 2 selected. We go right past items. There's a little arrow to the right for more options, and we click on slide, and then We've got this here. This is our plan setup, what always happens. And let's see here. The importance of a plan goes without saying. Let's say that's what I wanted my notes to be. And so now I can go back to the show. You'll see those notes briefly down here in a little strip. So when I click that, they show up. If I arrow to the right, you'll see the importance of a plan goes without saying, right? And this is the notes, all right? The plan setup, all right? So this is how you would add your slides, or add notes, I'm sorry, to your slides.